The total number of votes cast is 432, of which the Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 200 votes. The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212 votes.
That was Tuesday. Jim Jordan lost the first vote for speaker. I mean, he decided to jump in now that Kevin McCarthy got his ass kicked out by the Gates 8, which curiously Jim Jordan was not one of, but still he's ready to take the spot, except he needs the votes. The Hamilton song has been running through my mind all morning. You don't have the votes. Thank you to my kid for playing that over and over and over and over and over again when that musical came out. But still, let's look at the totals here in case you guys didn't see the way this whole thing broke down. Because look, he lost 20 potential Republican votes that could have been on his side. And it was smattered among other voices like Steve Scalise, who dropped out from the pressure after they nominated him. Kevin McCarthy, of course, is the whole reason why this is happening now. Lee Zeldin, Emmer, Garcia, Tom Cole, Thomas Massey, I hope I have those guys' first names correct. They each all got one vote on the back end. And there, Hakeem Jeffries at the bottom picked up the 212 that everyone was expected because that's where Democrats are going to be voting as the House continues to implode and the Republicans continue to fight each other. So there was 20 that opposed him that time. We just had our second, so the update just happened. You know what? Let's go ahead and jump down to let's go to graphic 2 because I do want to talk about what is that went down yesterday that then set up today's, because that I think is the least important. So more from CNN about Tuesday's losing vote for Jim Jordan. Jordan had initially considered holding a second vote on Tuesday, right after he lost that first one, but told reporters the House will vote again. Again, that's today now, Wednesday morning. As Jordan meets with a number of allies in hopes of swaying key holdouts, Republican sources say that his opposition could grow if the votes continue to over multiple rounds of ballots. I'm sure there's multiple reasons why. Maybe the pressure campaigns they're putting on. We saw some representatives say that they're gonna actually react badly to pressure campaigns and threats and things like that. The politicians, specifically probably folks around this particular faction, would be going towards, that might make it worse. Maybe just how they see this is kind of something that's not worth voting for Jim Jordan because he just doesn't have the numbers. So how did Wednesday's vote go? That literally just ended. We just saw it. So it has concluded as of today, and the vote count was 212 for Jeffries, as he had on Tuesday, and also 199 for Jordan. That's one fewer than he had. We double check. Yes, one fewer than he had yesterday. So he's losing votes. I think on the back end of that, the folks who voted for other Republicans that defected from Jim Jordan potentially, there was 22 this time. And those two that flipped, Don Bacon, which was already against him, and Ken Buck. There was a couple of fun nominations as well, Adrienne, like former Speaker John Boehner. He was nominated by Mike Kelly. I believe Byron Donalds got a couple of votes, or one at that point. He gained 3 detractors, including Drew Ferguson, Vern Buchanan, and Pete Stauber. So he gained them, but then lost a few others. And at the net end of it, he's looking much worse than he did yesterday. First thoughts on this, the first 2 rounds of votes, and do you think there's going to be a third? I mean, it's going to be pretty much a guess. I'm not sure if they know what they're going to do yet, Adrienne.
If the Republicans were eager to go, 15 rounds with Kevin McCarthy, I have no doubt that they would probably go for a third vote as far as Jim Jordan goes, and who knows how many more. There's just no one they're really united behind. And the thing is, so many things can't get done as a result of that. And it also really does show the chaos that is the GOP and why Americans continue to vote for individuals like Jim Jordan and members of his brigade is so incredibly just lost upon me. Because clearly, if they can't even get it together to determine who should lead, then they should not be in any position to lead.
Well, usually, as we go through these votes, we saw from the 15 votes that Kevin McCarthy went through in January, in between each one, there's people that are voicing their support. And Jim Jordan will do this. Kevin McCarthy will do that. Byron Donalds, please applaud. I'm not exaggerating. That's what happened the first time around when they're trying to find something as they were trying to, as Kevin McCarthy was trying to get in. So this one particular speech, which I saw happen Tuesday from Elise Stefanik, this oddly was in support of Jim Jordan taking his spot. And she's giving all the glowing praise about what he's about and what he's been through. Remember this? Watch it in case you guys didn't see it.
Jim is the voice of the American people who have felt voiceless for far too long. Whether as judiciary chair, conservative leader, or representative for his constituents in West Central Ohio, whether on the wrestling mat or in the committee room, Jim Jordan is strategic, scrappy, tough, and principled. He is a mentor, a worker, and above all, he is a fighter.
You don't have to give every aspect of his background, specifically the coaching at Ohio State wrestling team background. That's what the, I guess, gasps and noise from the background and the audience was giving there, at least the rest of her colleagues were giving her there. As she mentioned, Jim Jordan's time on the wrestling mat. We mentioned it yesterday, but for some reason, Elise Stefanik is talking about it as well. But I did mention the pressure part about this. So maybe that's why he lost a few more votes again this time.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.